Okay, today we're going to talk about World Heritage Cities and why I am strongly against the idea. For any cities, on the surface, it looks like, wow, what a great idea. World Heritage City. What that means is that a certain reputation, a certain glamour, and of course, more concretely, tourist revenues. Sounds great, right? Wow. There's always a price to pay. Nothing's free in life. And the price you pay when you try to achieve a World Heritage City, or you have achieved it, is the fact that now from that point forward, your best days are behind you. You're not focusing on the future, you're focusing on the past. Because to what is reflecting is a mindset. It's like, hey, I want to protect what I had. I want to keep what I have. Not let me take what we have and let's go into the future and change and move on and develop new things. An example of this is Penang, Georgetown, Penang. Georgetown is a little island that is in the state of Penang, which is inside the western Malaysia peninsula. Penang, very similar to Singapore, is a Chinese populated city within Malaysia. Unlike Singapore, unlike Singapore, which is independent. Penang is part of KL. Part of Malaysia. I don't know what's wrong with my brain today. And if you visit two cities, you feel the vast difference. Singapore is moving into the future at breakneck speed. Penang is stuck in the past. It feels like one of these tropical Caribbean cities that is so slow and nothing ever changes, nothing ever moves forward. And the sad thing is, the city, the people in that city is proud of it. And what happened is that all the young people, or at least majority of young people, are fleeing from the city. Those who stay tend to come from really well-off families, so they don't really need to work very hard or hustle very hard to get by in life. They just go in their social network, upper class, and enjoy life. Or alternatively, the poor people, which doesn't have the resource, the ability to move out of the city. Right? So it becomes rich, poor. Anybody and everybody who's able to get out has got out. And the lesson today is that if you live in a World Heritage City, or your city is trying to become a World Heritage City, and you're young, and you're ambitious, and you haven't made it in life, run from that city. Because the city has its priorities in the past, not in the future. And if you're young, your best days is ahead of you, which means it's in the future. And you should go to a city who believe in the future, believe in raising the past, the buildings and all that crap in the past, so they can welcome with their arms open the future. The optimistic city. And the World Heritage City, you will see, I believe, if other World Cities or Heritage Cities are similar to Penang, you'll see that the wealth in the city has been wealthy for a long time, and the poor has been poor for a long time, and there is no social mobility. And the World Heritage City, in a way, is the way for people in that city to keep the status quo. The poor don't have a huge drive to move up, and the rich make sure they're protecting their wealth and not being challenged by up-and-comers. I will never live or retire in a World Heritage City. That simply doesn't fit who I am. But I do know my wife's friends who are well-to-do love that city, and they study abroad, but they come back. They may dip their toe in for a couple of years in KL, try the big city living, but ultimately they turn back. Why should they not turn back? their family has good income. All they have to do is go home, marry some other rich person, and they have a few children, and their life is set in front of them. Why should they come to KL or go to another country and struggle and be just like everybody else? Um, but, understand the real social significance behind a simple name and